PG County was the worst, or if not the second worst county in Maryland as regarding this snow removal process. But these, I don't know, grifters had 3 luxury days in the hotel. You know, they didn't miss any hots and cots, okay?
Yes, we about to dig in. We about to dig in that ass.
We're holed up here at the hotel at the University of Maryland at taxpayer expense.
To the tune of $43,000. So why?
In an exclusive interview Monday, Brave Boy explained she wanted her team in one place.
Because there were a lot of decisions that had to be made in real time.
With the main county building closed after a small electrical fire and other facilities fully staffed, she chose to seek a hotel.
I can tell you that we were able to coordinate over 137 emergency medical trips. There was an incident where we had seniors who lost power in a building. We found out, and in real time, we were able to move and transport those seniors within less than an hour.
But the stay here is being criticized by some community activists, in part because of this video Brave Boy and her team released.
And they made this video and they butchered my song.
I knew KJ was going to go off as soon as she saw this video. I knew.
Take a look.
Georges County, there's only one place you should be during Winter Storm Fern.
Partying at the hotel.
No. In fact, you have my schedule. You'll see it. We were up at 7:30 in the morning.
According to hotel invoices released to 7 News at our request, the total cost was just over $43,000 for 3 nights, including 25 hotel rooms at $149 each, a conference room at $300 per day, and an $18,000 audio-video setup.
The whole storm response is going to be in excess of $16 million. So you're talking about a fraction of those costs. And the majority of those costs were actually AV and other equipment that we set up to see in real time.
No. All right, let's get into this. So again, folks, that was PG County's executive, Aisha Brave Boy. Nothing brave about that. It was sick. It was sick the way they butchered that song, and it's insane the way they spent our taxpayers' money. So, Shelly, do you think this makes sense?
Absolutely not. Give us our money back. Number one, the electrical glitch happened a couple of days, I think, before the storm, right? So they were already planning how they could do this. Notice they booked 3 days for 25 people, if I'm not mistaken. 3 days times 25 times their salary. So technically it's more than 43. That's just what they paid the hotel. They had one of the best rooms, the penthouse, the conference room set up so they can monitor the snowstorm and all of the different things that go along with those logistics. But the interesting part is, out of all of that, PG County just reopened their schools this week. Okay.
Wow.
This week, Wednesday, and they were on a delayed schedule even as late as today. So they still couldn't get the kids off to school. All of that monitoring, things like that. People are just going back, digging out, going to school, maybe going to work or whatever. PG County was the worst, or if not the second worst county in Maryland as regarding this snow removal process. But these, I don't know, grifters had 3 luxury days in the hotel. You know, they didn't miss any hots and cots, okay? They had deliveries. I'm sure they had catered food. 43, I'm sure they had all of that. Do you think they actually went out in the snow and got pizzas for themselves? Hell no. They had the best delivered to them, catered. They had hot water, electric. They didn't lose a bit. Not one thing. While the people in PG County, they lost power, time from work, made accidents, ice falls, all kinds of stuff, including just having their children go back to school just this Wednesday.
Nicole, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this was standard? Like this was correct for them to do?
You know, it would have been different if Prince George's County didn't have an emergency operations center. a state-of-the-art emergency operations center where they do preparedness and readiness, and it's already a central command. So rather than pull her team and say, hey, we're going to stay here where the firefighters stay, where the police stay when there's an emergency, they decided to go somewhere else, right off the University of Maryland campus, for 3 days there. And all of the scuttlebutt is that, the rooms really weren't that expensive. The food budget really wasn't that much. They spent most of their money on AV equipment, renting AV equipment so that they could be in touch. Well, here's the problem with this. This is the same Prince George's County that during COVID said that we could only have church via Zoom, because Zoom was reliable. The same Prince George's County that held criminal trials, civil cases via Zoom, in school via Zoom. Now, if Zoom is good enough to do all of that, why was it not good enough for you and your team to stay connected during the course of a snowstorm? And oh, by the way, the roads are still terrible. The roads are still terrible. I don't think she thought this through. I think Miss Braveboy, Aisha Braveboy, is their new county executive. I think she thought that people would say, well, they're an economic driver for the state. And if you compare it to, bigger cities, it's really not that much money. But what she's not understanding, this is the same Prince George's County that's an economic driver for the state because it houses many, many, many federal employees, some of whom are now jobless. Some of them were doge, some of them were rifted, some of them took the early buyout. And it's hard to sell $43,000 over 3 days when these people have no money at all. And there are people who can't heat their homes. There are people who keep their homes at 58 degrees, 62 degrees because the electricity is so high. People who have home heating fuel who don't even have any fuel in their tank because it's too expensive. So it kind of, I don't want to say it was tone deaf. I think that she overestimated her popularity with her own people because they ripped her a new one. Democrat, Republican, and Independent was like, that's too much. You're doing way too much. And the video most assuredly did not help. Now, I don't know what that gentleman who was moonwalking back into the shot, what was on his mind, but he was not helping, ladies.
No, he was not. But she even came out and said she'd do it again. She
intends to. She intends to do it every time she needs to do it. And that is the modern Democrat Party. Do you know how they're trying to push out all of the older Democrats and bring in this young guard? She's a part of this young guard that they're bringing in. And they are brazen in that, shut up and pay your taxes so I can do what I want to do.
Wow.
It's the Tiffany Henyard effect, right? Who gonna check me, boo? This is what this young guard brings to the table. So when I tell you, you have to vote. You have to be active in your community. This is the reason why, because she looked straight in the camera and said it. She didn't blink. She didn't glitch. There wasn't none of that, like KJ say, out the side of her mouth. She looked dead in the mirror, in the camera, and said, I'd do it again. I'd do it every single time, because what else are you going to do? What are you going to do to check me?
It's crazy because in the age of, you have remote work. Why blow that kind of cash? That's what I don't understand.
Because it's not theirs.
Because she can.
Ours.
Who's going to check her? Westmore? Westmore is going to send her an angry worded note? You think? No.
And you have unlimited hands or ability to reach into other people's pockets. It's not your money that's being affected. It's other people's money. So how? What difference does it make? Why? They put me here. I can, this endless pot of money just keeps flowing from other people. So what am I risking? I'm still collecting a check, and I'm using their money to fund all the grift that I can cover under quote unquote, necessary expenses or emergency needs.
Yeah. Folks, sound off in the chat and let us know what you think. Do you think it was necessary for them to rent these hotel rooms on the taxpayers' dime? Or do you think it was definitely insane? It was overreach and it was indulgence just because of the taxpayers are paying for it. Sound off in the chat and let us know what you think. Also, hit that like button for us, folks. It helps to get this video out in front of a wider audience, and we need that. We appreciate each and every one of you and your support and in your continued super chats. We love you guys. We're building a community here.
Be leaders ourselves.
Black women are being used by the Democrat Party.
All of these socioeconomic indicators are in the negative, particularly for Black people. They want mob rule. When Trump was in office, please somebody tell me, what act of dictatorship did he perform?
She had Donald Trump's hair on top of her head. And she's sitting here talking about brown girl this, brown girl that.
Because she's a Black woman.
They would ask her how to spell her first name and clap like sea monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah.
Whoa.